Hi, it looks like we are live. Welcome to this workshop on the subconscious mind and how to speed up your manifestations and how to get what it is that you really want. If you don't know who I am, if you're coming from a recommendation from a friend or family online, I am Amanda Elise, and I have been doing spiritual and metaphysical coaching for about 4 or 5 years, 4 or 5 years now. Actually, yeah, about 5 years now. And I am joined by Janae Martin.
Hi, hello everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. And I hope you're taking a moment to honor yourself for showing up to a workshop like this, right? Because as women, we're creative, we're powerful, but we really want to tap into how to manifest the right way. So you're in the right place. I'm so thankful, and really take a moment to honor yourself. My name again is Janae Martin. I am a transformational coach and a certified spiritual coach. And what I do is I help women really create their best life. Like that life that you put on your vision board, I help you create it. But the trick is I help you create it from the inside out, right? So my motto is that success is an inside job. So that looks like, your inner peace, your, self-sabotage, and really getting in alignment with spiritual laws of the universe, right? And then from your high vibration, you can really achieve any goal. So that's the process and the journey that I help women with. So happy to be here.
Janae, you are absolutely right. I do want to say that a lot of times, and because this is a webinar on manifesting and the subconscious mind, I do really want to just jump right in and say that a lot of times when you are trying to hit a new goal or really trying to do well for yourself, sometimes your subconscious mind, sometimes you have an inner saboteur, right? So somebody who sabotages you when you're trying to move forward. So you might know that this this workshop is something that can change your life. And your inner saboteur would be like, but I'm hungry, I gotta go to the mall. All of a sudden I have to clean up and I haven't cleaned up in 5 days. There will be things that will stop you on your path. But like you, Janae said, congratulations. You showed up here today. So that really shows that you are ready for change and you are ready to take action in your life. So I do agree with Janae. You took your time and your energy to be here. So we are so thankful for you, and yourself should be thankful to you as well. And Janae gave an amazing intro. So I do also want to say that I have been teaching group courses for years, and I have had over 1,000 people take my courses and manifest things like money out of the blue, which happens a lot. They've manifested babies and engagements and new houses, and just had someone post the other day that she manifested an amazing new car, which she had in our manifesting group now, which she had literally talked about like the week before. Businesses have been started. Like I said, people have gotten married. Just amazing things have happened in this group. So thankful that I am able to give you guys some tips here today. So thanks again. And with that, Janae is going to talk about in this workshop, we're going to talk about a process that we both use in terms of manifesting. And Janae is going to start with what I think is honestly one of the most important pieces of knowledge that there is in manifesting. So take it away.
Amazing. Yes, Amanda. Thank you for saying that, because this is key. So we're just going to jump right in and start here. So if you're taking notes, grab your pen, grab your paper. Number one, you have got to get clear, but not just any kind of getting clear on what you want to manifest. You have to get clarity on a soul level. So this is what I call soul aligned goals or soul goals. But you really, number one, you have to tell the universe what you want, right? And Amanda and I, we know that this is so key. We hop on a phone with women all over the world all the time, because we know until you are clear on what you want and really putting it out there and telling the universe what you want is really hard to manifest. So that is number one, is to really, have those goals aligned to your soul and really to be clear. And when I think about this, I think about like a GPS, right? Or your navigation on your phone, right? So if you're going somewhere and you need directions, you have to put the starting location and you have to put the ending location in order to get where you're going, right? So it's the same idea with your life. You know, you have to, number one, have awareness of where you are and specific clarity on where you're trying to go in order to truly get there. And so if you're wondering why I'm calling it soul aligned goals, a lot of times as women and men too, but a lot of times what we truly want is like buried somewhere deep down. Like we have a lot going on. We're mothers, we're wives, we have businesses, we have, our career. And sometimes what we truly want to manifest, we don't really give ourselves permission, right? To say, okay, here's what I want, right? Is buried, right? So what this part of the process looks like is really digging deep and really figuring out, okay, what is it that my soul wants? Like, what do I truly want? Like really giving yourself permission to say, okay, yeah, that thing right there, that's what I want. And it's on a soul level, right? And when you don't do this, well, let me put it like this. Have you ever set a goal and then you hit the goal and then you don't feel anything, or, you don't either like you don't feel it, or you're like, this is not what I really wanted, like it just doesn't really feel right. That's because you missed this foundational step, right? So you want to set these goals that when you hit them, they're going to give you this deep level of joy, this deep level of electricity, because you really hit something on a soul level, right? So this is so key. And I kind of want to bring this to life. I want to use a real live example from one of my clients who I am so proud of. But I took her through this process of getting clarity on a soul level. So she came to me, and her main thing when she came to me, she had a really good job. She worked in finance, like with cars, for a really good company. And she just wanted more money. She wanted to bring in more money, and she wanted to just do something on the side, right? So that was her goal when she came to me. She wanted me to help her with that process. But me knowing that you have to get clarity on a soul level, I took her through the soul goal setting process. And what we figured out is what she really wanted to do was just express her creativity. Like that is what she needed in her life. She wanted to express her creativity. So that was the first part. So then how you get that in alignment, we said, well, how can you express your creativity? So then, further on later, I'm doing a long story short. So later on, we figured out that, she gets stressed out sometimes, and what's very helpful and therapeutic to her is candles. Like she's so connected to candles, and she's like, well, maybe I can start to create and make candles, right? So she found an opportunity to express her creativity, and I'm so proud to say she put up an Etsy store and brought in a ton of sales, right? So she came to me saying that she just wanted more money, wanted, something more out of life. But really what she got out of that was, she achieved the soul aligned goal. So I hope that makes sense, that I brought that to life. Does that make sense, Amanda? Just on a soul level, how you have to really figure out what it is you want deep down, set a goal in alignment with that. And then once you get that in action, you're able to manifest what you really want, which for her was more money and the ability to just have a better quality of life.
Yeah, that does make sense. And I think that the reason that happened to your client is because when you set goals that are not actually aligned with what you actually want, you unconsciously, you have resistance towards them because you don't actually want it. And if you follow law of attraction, you know that resistance is like the kryptonite or whatever you want to call it for manifesting, because when you have resistance in your life, it is blocking the manifestations. Why? Because when you're feeling good, you're feeling clear, you're feeling in alignment, you're feeling in harmony, things that are in harmony and alignment are going to be attracted to you. But if you're feeling in resistance, a little bit frustrated, maybe constricting,
right,
or constrictive, don't know, that is, you're going to bring that energy to you in all the situations, the people, the places, everything is going to resonate or is going to be in resonance with your natural vibration. So I actually had a client last year, or I think it was 2 years ago, and she was in the manifesting group that we will talk about later, but she was in my manifesting group, and she kept declaring that, you know, because in the manifesting group, we act as if we have what we want already. And so she kept acting as though she was at the top of her game in Advocare. And if you don't know what Advocare is, it's a health company, and it's independent contractors just like Mary Kay. So she wanted to be a consultant for Advocare. She wanted to do really, really well. And so she kept acting as if, and blah, 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 blah. And just like you said, Janae, because we're acting as if, she already had reached her goal of doing well, and she felt nothing. Like, she felt nothing. It felt completely flat for her, and she just wasn't with it. And she's like, you know, after doing that, after going through that process, she realized that it was not a soul goal of hers. Like, she really gave no F's about Advocare as a company. And that's not to say people on this call, they might be doing Advocare. And if that's what you love, then let it be your soul goal. But for her, what she loved about it is the fact that she was able to talk to different women about their health. And so she realized that's actually what she wanted to do. She wanted to be a health coach. So once she started moving in the direction, and like you say, Janae, giving herself permission to go after what she really, really wanted, that's when things started to happen for her. That's when she started to manifest money out of the blue. That's when she started to manifest resources. And I have her video up as well, so maybe I'll be able to send it to you guys, or if somebody wants to see it, just you know, shoot me a quick email. Just shoot me a quick email and I can send it to you. So yeah, like I said, the reason that happened is because she was in alignment, she was in harmony, and things were able to be attracted to her that much. Well, things are always attracted to you fast, but it depends on what you're vibrating. So
that is exactly what I was about to say. What I noticed is that it just makes it so much easier to manifest. It's like a manifestation flow. Once you get that clarity on a soul level, like you're so surprised how quickly and just naturally you start to manifest things. It's easy, right? We don't want to work too hard. So I was just going to say that. So that is an amazing point. And so before we go on to the next piece of knowledge, Amanda, I want to go ahead and answer a question that I get all the time when it comes to these soul aligned goals. I get it all the time, so I want to go ahead and answer it for everyone watching right now. And the question I always get is, you know, I set goals all the time, but how do I know if it's a soul aligned goal? You know, that's what everyone wants to know. Like, how do I know? Like, I think this is a part of my soul, or maybe it's not. Like, how do I know? And so I have a short answer and then a more thorough answer. And my short answer is, it's one of those things where you literally just know. You know how they say, like, when you find your soulmate, or even like with a wedding dress, they say when you try on a wedding dress, you just know that, okay, this is it. The same thing kind of happens when you're in alignment with your soul and your goals. So that's the short answer. You really just know. The longer answer is that, think about it. Your soul has been with you for your entire life, right? So what you can do is you can see if this is in alignment with who you have been for your whole life, right? So, you know, who were you at 4? Whatever this goal is this something that, you know, is in alignment with who you were at 4? Or who, you know, when you were a teenager, when you were 14, 15, is this something that you were naturally into at that age, right? Because your soul has always been with you. Things that naturally bring you joy, things that you're naturally good at, that has always been with you on a soul level. So when you're setting goals, there's a timeline process I kind of take my clients through, but I'll just give that little piece of information to you. You can just measure it to who you've always been as a person person, really get to the core of yourself when you're setting your goals and really look at it as a measure. Quick example from my life. When I was 4, I wanted to be a doctor because I wanted to help people feel better. When I was a when I was a teenager, the main thing, my friendships, I didn't have a lot of friends, but the friends that I did have, it was very close friendships. And we would sit, and talk for hours, like just one-on-one. And I would help them see things different. I would help them figure things out, whatever they were going through, high school stuff, whether it be with guys or, beefing or gossip or whatever the case is. I would sit and talk with my friends for hours to make them feel better, to change, help their perspective, give them positive vibes. I was doing this as a teenager, right? So if I make any goals around my coaching brand and my coaching business to, impact a ton of women, that is definitely in alignment to my soul and to who I've always been. So yeah, that's a great way to measure it. But at the end of the day, you just know, you feel it when your goal is on point.
Beautiful. So true. And I have to say, super spoiler alert, but at the end of the call, we're going to be talking about Janae, and she is giving away a few free calls with her to get the soul. And I have to say, like, me and Janae, we talk often, and me and Janae, we were actually setting goals for the quarter, and I set some goals, and she's like, yeah, but I don't hear you coming alive with those at all. And I was like, damn, you're so right. So then we actually, and it's, it's silly, but we actually went through a process, and finally we did, or, I did, both of us talked about what is my actual soul goal and what lights me up. So I'm happy to say that that process really shows a huge shift in between what you think you want and a soul goal, because this soul goal, I have been going nonstop on it, because that's what happens. You work day and night. It's like, you wonder sometimes, how do you keep motivated with things? Well, if you have to ask yourself how to keep motivated, chances are it is not a soul goal, and you owe it to yourself to really find one that is. So yeah, thank you, Janae, for sharing that with us. So so I kind of want to move on to the next piece of knowledge. You good with this?
Yes. I can't wait to hear about the subconscious mind.
Yes. Okay. So we're going to talk about the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is so, so important. So what is the subconscious mind? Because if you study this material, you already know, you hear about the subconscious mind all the time. So the subconscious mind, some people call it the lower brain, because there's a conscious mind, then there's a subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind, if you can keep these in memory, responsible for the following functions. Your automatic nervous system. So this controls all of your internal organs and makes sure that everything is regulated. It controls, it forges and manages all of your habits. So it's also very important to remember. It controls insight, creativity. It controls your emotions. So your subconscious mind is subjective. It does not think on its own. It is responsible for storing and retrieving data. So if you can remember that, it is responsible for storing and retrieving data. So what happens is your conscious mind actually commands your subconscious mind. It doesn't work the other way around. And if you've seen any of my videos, you've heard me talk about the fact that the subconscious mind is 1 million times more powerful than the conscious mind. And I am by nature a dramatic person. However, this is not drama, like this is a real statistic. It actually is 1 million times greater. So when you're working with manifesting or changing habits, you want to make sure that you have the subconscious mind on board. So like I said, it stores and manages data, and stores and retrieves data, and this is where the managing habits part comes into play. The subconscious mind's job is to make sure that you respond exactly the way that you are programmed. This is powerful. The job is to make sure that you respond exactly as you are programmed. So you can imagine that as an opportunity comes your way that maybe you have seen before, or something like maybe looks different about it, your subconscious mind is already filtering out what's for you and what's not for you based on what you've already been doing. So example of this that I talk about all the time, there was an experiment done where there were 2 job postings listed in a newspaper. 2 job postings had the exact same description. Exact same description. One set a number, and these, it was a very long time ago, so I'm going to use fictional numbers. One was something like 30,000, the other was something like 120,000 a year, $120,000 or $30,000 per year. Exact same description, exact same title. And the one with 30,000 had way more applicants than the one that said 120,000. And why? Because their subconscious mind was programmed to respond exactly as they had always been responding. So when they saw 30,000, they were like, that's me. That's what it's called, the master program. So your subconscious mind creates a master program. So they said 30,000, that's me. That's my master program. When they saw the 120,000, they said, this is not me. So how I typically respond is by looking at it and saying, that's nice. But that's not me. So it makes sure that you respond and everything you do fits in a pattern that's consistent with your self-concept. So this is so powerful, like so powerful. I want you to really go away from this workshop remembering how powerful this is. Like, let that seed be planted, and for you to really continue to do the work to change your subconscious mind. So this is, a quick example of this that's like, sure, we all do this. If you see a stove that's hot, when you were a baby, when you first saw it, let's say you touched it and you were like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do that. So once again, the subconscious mind's job is to forge and manage habits. So that's where you forge that habit. Like, okay, if I see a stove, do not touch it. After that, your habit was already maintained. It was managed. Like, you knew, I do not touch this stove. That keeps you alive. And that's why the subconscious mind is here. It keeps you alive. It keeps you not repeating things that could be hazardous to your health. But there are some times when these hazards are fictitious. I keep trying to use that word. I don't know what to say. Fictional, not true. For instance, let's say there's a job you really, really want. And the last time you went for a job you really, really wanted, something happened in the interview and it just didn't work out for you. Let's say that happened 2 times and you're like, you know what, I'm good. So you forge the habit of not applying to jobs that you really, really want. Well, in the stove example, it made sense. It's keeping you alive. But in that example, you can see where not every situation is going to be the same. So in that time, you forge the habit of thinking, I can't even do this. So you can see how detrimental this is to reaching your goals, because I think, and I forgot his name, but the CEO, Steve Schulz or Howard Schulz, one of them's like the creator of the Peanuts, and the other's the CEO or of Starbucks. Anyway,
Howard is Starbucks, I think.
Howard? Okay.
Yeah.
What's the Peanuts one?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So as I'm talking, I'm just going to do some Googling. Peanuts creator. Okay. So anyway, like I was saying, Peanuts creator. Let's see if we can find this. Charles Schulz. Okay, there we go. So
yeah.
Anyway, he was turned down by how many banks? Do you remember? I don't know. Something that was an exorbitant number. So he was turned down by that many banks, and he just kept getting no's and no's and no's and no's and no's. Had he not continued to, had he not overrode the program that was trying to come in, he would have never found the bank that was going to finance him. And we wouldn't, Janae, the first time we met in person was at a Starbucks. Well, we had a meetup. So me and Janae, yeah. So Starbucks would not be here. And if you have a goal, you can like completely understand how it would make sense to change your subconscious mind. So I've already talked about, and we are trying to keep this webinar super short and sweet because we both love things that are efficient and quite short. So I had a few other things I was going to discuss, but I think I've pretty much covered most of them. But I do want to say that your subconscious mind, it does not gravitate towards what's best for you. It gravitates towards what it knows. So it gravitates again towards things that you have said and done in the past. So if something happens to you that might be a little bit jarring and you respond in an emotional way, then it keeps record of this. And again, this master programming that it has makes sure that you respond in the exact same way. Again, it doesn't it gravitates towards what it knows, not what's best for you. So you really have to remember this. And every time you try to do something outside of your subconscious, outside of your comfort zone, excuse me, your subconscious will try to pull you back. So that's why in the beginning of the workshop, I said, or Janae said, good job for being here, because some people would know that this information is powerful and your subconscious mind wants you to stay the same. So yeah, I think really that's about it that I wanted to say about the subconscious mind.
I have a quick question, Amanda, that people may be wondering. So obviously you help people with reprogramming and shifting their subconscious to serve them, right? And that's a big part of the work you do in the group, right? Whether they believe it or not. But I'm wondering if there's a quick piece of advice or information that you can give everyone listening now on, how can you begin to shift or reprogram your subconscious? Like, what does the work really look like?
Sure. The work looks like creating new neural pathways so these new, like I said, it stores and retrieves data. So the more neural pathways that you create and the more you continue to use those, so it's kind of like a random piece of dirt, such a crazy example, a random piece of land that if one car kept going on the same exact road, the road would get those grooves in it, and that's where if you had more cars, they would just keep going through there because it already has habit, it already, that's your neural pathway. So what you want to do is forge neural pathways, one, and then continue to use them over and over and over again, because now that's your master programming. So what you have to do is you have to be repetitious. Repetition is very, very, very important when it comes to the subconscious mind, because that's going to help you override that programming. So that's why when in the manifesting group, we have a process that we do every single day, because we're creating those neural pathways, we're strengthening them, we're giving them more bits of data every single day. And it's especially powerful because the subconscious mind, whenever something is presented to it, it always scans to see what previous if something happens, it's okay, where can I take data from in a previous example? Okay, well, I can't think of an example, but it's always looking to retrieve data. So it doesn't understand, it doesn't understand not knowing, basically. So that's why we give it so many, okay, so it doesn't like not knowing. So instead of going back to the old programming, we ask new questions that helps people insert new data. So we ask questions like, how could this be possible, right? In our manifesting groups. And that's amazing because subconscious mind, it shakes it up, because it's oh, I'm not going towards the past. Now I'm going into a creative state. And that's where you get into your conscious mind and you're creating. And then, you flip that back to your subconscious mind. So if I had to give people one piece of advice daily, come up with some type of process where you are forming new neural pathways. And this could be visualization. This could be, through our group, we speak to each other every single day as if we already have what we want. So this is forging new neural pathways every single day. So that is my huge piece of advice that I've seen work time and time again.
That's so good, Amanda. That's so amazing. Great information, great advice. I hope y'all are all taking notes, because so far you've gotten, that you have to get clarity on a soul level. You've gotten information on the subconscious mind and the work that you need to be doing daily to we're creative beings, right? So to create that new life. So that is amazing. One thing I wanted to mention really quickly, and I'll move on to the next piece of information. I don't know. I think you sent this to me, Amanda, or somewhere. Maybe I saw it online, but a visual, if you need a visual of the subconscious mind, it was like an iceberg. And so the part above the water, it was like, it looked fairly big. That was the conscious mind. And then the subconscious mind was like this big iceberg under the water. And that was the subconscious. So the visual really helped me realize, wow, subconscious mind is really a huge part of the way things operate. So this is very powerful work to do that work on your subconscious, because like you said, it's like 99 or 95% of creation mode. So that's amazing. Honestly, before we go into the third piece of information, with these first two, steps, you are already there when it comes to the manifesting process. Like, you're going to bring things into your life. That's guaranteed. Like, I feel so certain about that. You make these changes that we talked about so far, and you're going to definitely begin to manifest new things, new opportunities into your life. However, what we're going to go into next, if you want manifestation as a lifestyle, right? You don't want to just manifest 1 to 2 things and that's it, right? You want to be able to, create the life that you want continuously, right? So I'm calling it a manifestation lifestyle. Like, you really want to have these things be a part of your being. That's what I'm going to get into next. So the next piece of information, so if you're taking notes, 1 was soul aligned goals, 2 is reprogramming your subconscious, 3 is your tribe. You have to have a tribe. Like, who are your influences, right? You surrounded by like minds. And this is pretty much scientific. Like, I know we hear a lot of times, birds of a feather flock together, or what's the other saying? I think I heard Will Smith say one time, like, you're the average of the 5 people you spend time with. Like, those are quotes that people say, but the reason they're saying these things is because it's scientifically true. Like, there's studies that, based on who you're influenced by, who you're hanging out with, who you're talking to, what's going on in your world, you naturally are influenced by that. Like, it's just a natural thing. You're not a follower. It is just scientific. Just like it's mathematical too. Like, 2 + 2 = 4. What you're around influences you. And, so another thing I want to bring up that kind of drives this point home is the Dr. Ron Eccles. Am I pronouncing his name right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. He has like this formula for success in all areas of your life. And it's pretty much the same idea of, your influences and like minds, but his formula is called ITAR. So ITAR. And the I is influences, the T is thoughts, the A is action, and the R is results. So pretty much what he's saying, and it all starts with your influence, right? So what he's saying is that what's happening is your influences shape your thoughts. So, right, based on what you're around, who you're surrounded by, what's going on in your world, that naturally, it's an organic process, shapes how you think. Then your thoughts lead to your actions. So based on the influence and the thoughts that are going on in your head, that, based on that, you take certain action, whether it be good or bad, based on your thoughts. And then last but not least, those actions turn into your results, right? So your influence your thoughts, your actions, your results, right? So it's pretty much the same idea. Your tribe, who are you surrounded by? Like, I can't drill this point home enough. I think a lot of us just intuitively know this, like, you know, who you're surrounding yourself by. But I think it really drills it home when we know that it's scientific, it's mathematical. Like, you know, doctors are saying it, it's a success formula. Like, it really drills this point home that we have to be surrounded by a tribe. We have to be surrounded by these influences that are going to help us create the life that we want. And I have to put my own example in there. You know, I'm a hip hop head. Sometimes hip hop gets a bad reputation. The way I look at it is, like, a lot of these rappers, they come from nothing, right? And then they make it, right? And they make millions of dollars. And you're like, they have to have something figured out, right? So I have my hip hop example. JayZ on one of his songs, Can't Knock the Hustle. He has a verse where he says, you know, we get together like a choir to acquire what we desire. I'm gonna say that again, because the words, he says, we get together like a choir to acquire what we desire, right? So he's saying that he's dropping some knowledge in his song, and pretty much what he's telling you is, on his way up, he had to surround himself to get what he desired. He had to surround himself with the right production people, you know, the right businessmen, the right, you know, the people who were around him. Really, he attributes that to his success, right? So I bring that up to say, you know, whether it's hip hop, whether it's a book, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a scientist, whether, you know, a successful person, they're all saying the same thing, right? So that really like drills this point home that we have to have our tribe, we have to have our influences. And Amanda's going to talk more later about her group, but that's what this does for you, right? To be surrounded by what you need is, I'm so grateful that Amanda provides that. But just, even if you're not a part of a specific tribe, this will be a good opportunity for you to take inventory and say, okay, who do I spend the most time with? Who do I talk to the most on the phone? And you'll start to get an awareness of, oh, that's why I'm creating certain things in my life. It's a natural flow of, you know, your influences. And so quickly, before we move on to the last piece, the question that comes up most, I want to just go ahead and tackle that question. But you know, a lot of us as women, we're busy, we got a lot going on. And so it comes up that, hey, I don't have time to be influenced by anyone, right? I don't really spend time with many people. And so the thing is, when I say influences, it's pretty much like everything. So yes, it's the people that you hang out with, but it's also, what books are you reading, right? It's also on social media. Who are you connected with on social media? When you scroll on Instagram, like, who's on your timeline, right? And Facebook, what groups are you a part of? So your social media, whether it be audios, like, are you listening to audio books or any spiritual teachings online? You know, there's a ton of things on YouTube, or whether it be like empowerment or, you know, things like that. Those are also your influences, right? You know, because if you're watching the news every day, nothing against the news, but, you know, if you're just, negativity is continuously being fed into you, that is your influence, right? So it's the well-rounded, it's not only the people that you're around, but it's just, what are you influenced by? So that's the, you know, the answer for people who feel like they're too busy to stay connected. You know, the group, the manifesting group, that will be a big part of your influences. So does that all make sense? Is there anything else you'd like to add to that, to, you know, really have tribe, like-minded people surrounded by you, and, you know, to be with you as a support system and a part of your journey?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. And when you're talking about the books that you read, I have a friend, his name is Ruben. He is Think, Grow, Prosper on Instagram. So he has 2.9 million followers. And he said that when he was trying to grow his account and just trying to grow his life in general, he did that. And he didn't mention if he had like a lack of successful friends. He didn't mention that. But what he did say was that he made sure that he listened to audio tapes of, and JayZ was somebody that he mentioned that he listened to. And then he also talked about, he was this, in a different conversation that we had, he talked about he surrounded himself by a lot of people. This is when he was trying to grow his account. He surrounded himself by a lot of people who were also trying to grow their inspirational accounts, and they all grew together. So not only does surrounding yourself with people help you in terms of mental vibrations, because I'll just say it quickly, it also helps you in terms of support. Like, you know, if you have people supporting you and they're going in the same direction, of course, naturally, it can only lead to somebody lending a helping hand to another. But the reason it's so important to be around people who are growing, and when you say like-minded, it does not mean that you have to be in the exact same industry, you have to be doing the exact same thing. No, sometimes it just means you both have to have the same mindset of growth. You have the same mindset of, I don't want to stay, I don't want to be where I'm at in a year, I don't want to be where I'm at in 2 months, hell, tomorrow. I don't want to be in the exact same position. I want to keep moving forward. And when you are with people who are growth minded, and and sometimes they don't even have to push you in terms of what you want, but you'll be able to feel. So this is both a testimony to being with the right people and not being with the right people. So when you're with the right people, let's say, and you want to maybe do something that kind of might be off the beaten path, they might not say anything, they might not judge you, but you can feel their energy is not behind it, right? So you can feel that they're not like, oh yeah, and then maybe you should do this. And then, so again, if you're talking about doing something that just is not like a successful thing, they might just kind of not be behind it. And then you might subconsciously get the feeling like, oh, okay, so maybe I shouldn't do that because, you know, my successful friends, like they're not really about that life. And conversely, when you are with people that you have always been with, and this is something that I hear so common, people are like, well, you know, when I start to gain a little bit of success, I don't want to feel like I'm leaving so-and-so. I don't want to feel like I'm leaving so-and-so, because it is true. Because sometimes when you talk about, yo, like, let's say you're that person who's earning 30,000 and you're like, yo, I heard about this new job. I'm totally qualified. It's going to pay 120K. And they might be like, okay, so girl, what you doing on Friday? Like, they might not, they might not dismiss it, but you can tell energetically that their energy would not support you moving. And it's not because they don't love you. It's because they also fear when you get there, you might leave them. So really it's fueled by love, but it's still not healthy. So you can see by who, you know, and you might subconsciously get the idea like, oh, okay, well, maybe they won't be my friend if I actually go for that job. So, and you might think like, who the hell would think that? But subconsciously, you might sabotage yourself because you want to stay with your tribe. And this is a huge, huge thing in the personal development industry to talk about. And so we can have like a huge, like another call all on that. But the thing that I want to say is that, yeah, like Janae said, who you're hanging around is absolutely important. And I also want to say this point, and this is kind of off topic, but it's kind of off topic, but it is important to note. Even if your friend, let's say they have the same job, they want to stay at the same job forever, like they are content, like they are happy there, and you want to grow in your career, like you want to grow. Even if their area of growth is not the same as you, or even if they don't think the same in terms of you as business, even if they're not trying to grow their income, even if they are someone who is supportive of your growth, they need to be included in that circle too. So if you say, okay, you know, let's say they're on some 30,000 kick and they just want to stay there for whatever, God knows whatever reason, and they say, and you tell them you want to go after 120, they'll say, you know what, that's not for me, but girl, I support it. How can I help you get ready for this interview? Like, people don't have to be, you know, like they don't have to be the same in their life, but if they support you, I mean, those people are golden in your life, and, you know, hang on to them, really. I do just want to put that out there. Okay, so we're like, going for a long time. But about the influences, another thing I want to say is that there is a concept of the mastermind, and you hear about this in Think Grow Rich. You hear about this in all the successful books that were written in like the 20s and the 30s or whatever that are still in print today because these people knew something. The mastermind is a concept, and I'm still researching how to say it correctly because they always just say it so quick and it's like you get the point, but it's like, tell me more, tell me more. But the mastermind is a concept that where two or more are gathered in the spirit of one goal. So if me and Janae are gathered in harmony, if I tell Janae my goal, she tells me her goal, a third thing is formed, and that's called the mastermind or the God mind. This third presence comes in, and like I said, this is spiritual. This is it's written about in like, think where like it's written about. So this third mind comes in that number one takes all the information out in the universe, and then this sounds totally woo-woo, but you gain insights from this third mind that comes. So this third mind is also a supportive energy of you. And I think they even say that like in church where two or more are gathered, like this is a pretty, Janae, I don't know if you moved your camera, but it's, the resolution looks, yeah, I think, say something real quick.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay,
yeah, so this concept is powerful. And so that's what I wanted to do with the manifesting group, because every day these women are speaking their desires as if they already exist. Everybody is supporting them and they're interacting with them on that level of that vibration already. So if all of us are interacting with you on the vibration of you already having what you want, number one, you're rising to that level all the time. Every time I meet you, you know how they say, if you want to change the things you look at, change the way you look at things, right? I don't know if I said that correctly, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. It's because if you, so like in terms of like employees, right? If you look, okay, in terms of students, they had this, this experiment done where like, this teacher, she was told that her students were like D students and she had to prepare them for this test. And then they had the same teacher, she told her that another classroom was A students and she had to prepare them for the test. They, even though the grades were not true, they ended up performing at the level that the experimenter told the teacher at, because the way she's interacting with the D students is like, y'all ain't gonna get this anyway, so I'm gonna just spit this information, do my job. But the A student, she's like, no, they need to get this because they're really good, they're gonna get there. So her mental energy sent out the vibrations to them, and it changed the chemistry of how they acted. So when you are hanging out with people, if they don't see your vision or believe in it, the way they're interacting with you is also going to be different. So in this manifesting group, everybody is interacting with you as if you have already achieved what you tell us that you want to achieve. And so you can see, just like that A student, just like that teacher, they manifested their A. We want you to manifest your X, whatever that thing is. So these influences, these subtle subconscious clues and hints, those will get you to where you want to go. So influences, so important.
Yeah.
So important. Anything else on this third nugget of knowledge?
So good. The only thing I want to say is that, like, what you just broke down, this day and age, I know even I talk about it a lot. Like, we're all talking about energy, good energy, positive vibes, good vibes only. Like, we're all talking about that kind of stuff. But you just articulated really what's going on, like really creating like a energy of itself to operate in, right? That flow. And I actually wrote a blog post about this yesterday, so I can send it over to anyone who needs it. We can, shoot me an email and I can send it. But that's pretty much what I'm talking about, is like, yeah, we say positive vibes, we try to stay in good energy, but it's really this influence. What are you surrounded by? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you believing? Like, what's going on with you? You're creating an energy, and from that space, that's how you're manifesting. That's how you're attracting things. So yeah, this is all in the 20s, they called it Mastermind. You know, we can call it what we want, but at the end of the day, who you're around, what you're surrounded by is a key step in what you're going to manifest into your life. So yeah, I think we covered this one good. Good stuff. I hope everyone's taking notes.
Yes, I hope so as well. Okay, well, the last point, and we wanted this workshop to be like 30 minutes ish, so it's getting up there. But the last thing that I want to share is talking about making room, for your desires. And I'm actually going to make the last minute decision that we're going to save most of the goodies of that for a new workshop. And I'll talk about that because that's a pretty big concept in itself. We'll talk about feng shui. We'll talk about the concept of nature abhorring a vacuum. But if you did really want to hear about that concept right now, I'll just give you one piece of advice based on someone who's in a manifesting group now, and she was in the last one as well, or the one before that. She's done a few, but and this is the one who like also just got the car, so she's just got this thing down basically. So again, I'll do another workshop on this, but one fun thing that we did in the group is go out and buy yourself something, or buy someone something that when you hit your goal, you will give away. For instance, she bought her husband loves Star Wars, so she bought she bought a baby shirt. She wanted a baby. She's married. She wanted a baby. She bought a baby size shirt that said something about Star Wars. But I saw the picture. I wish I would have brought it to this workshop. But anyway, so she bought that, and she was like, I'm going to give this to my husband when we have a baby. So she was already future planning, already creating those neural pathways, already making room. And then she did finally get pregnant, and she just had her baby boy, and she gave it to, her visualization, what she was visualizing is giving it to him when she announced that she was pregnant. So she did get to do that. She gave it away to him. So beautiful. So I asked everybody to go out and buy something that you'll buy when you hit your goal. It could be a glass of champagne for yourself. It could be, something else for somebody else. But do that powerful process, sends powerful commands to you, to your subconscious, to the universe. Like, this is happening. And I'm just pre-buying this right now, but we're going to use this. So that's a quick tip that I can give you today. And I have mentioned the group quite a few times, and it's because I am so passionate about this group. I love this group so much, not only because of what it represents, but because of the women that have been called into this group. Couldn't ask for a better tribe. This group, going to explain a little bit of it to you, is a manifesting group. And what we do is every single day, they receive an instructional email, and in this email, it gives them a sentence that they have to complete, and they have to complete it as if they had already achieved their goals, and they are to post it into the private secret Facebook group. And again, this is because, so if I receive the email and it says, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I got the best congratulations gift. And if I'm trying to manifest a baby, I would say I got the best congratulations gift. It was 2 little booties or 2 pacifiers, whatever, like people get kids these days. And I would write that in the group, and I'd be like, because I announced to all my friends that I was pregnant, and everybody got excited, and really bringing up that heart energy that really helps you manifest that flow that Janae was talking about earlier. And then everybody's responding and asking me questions. What color were the pacifiers? What do you think you're going to have? What are some names you're considering? And then I respond. So it's happening again, just like that teacher who caused those students to get those A's. She's interacting with them on that level. I am interacting with people they're interacting with me as if I already have what I want. So of course, naturally, my vibration rises to whatever it is that I want. And it happens quicker because there are more people and that energy is building and building and building. So that's what we do in the group. We also have phone calls where we speak our desires into existence. And the reason that we do this is because, and you know, you're coming to the call as if you already have what you want and you're just chatting away about the success that you've been having. It's kind of like a success party. And the reason that this is so powerful is because you are the center of your universe. Everything around you is resonating with your vibration. So there's literally nothing in your experience that you are not vibrating. And you might not like the sound of that, but it is true. And once you realize this, and if there are things that you don't like, once you realize it, you can change it. You can change your vibration. Steps as these are very, very powerful with the group, but you can also do some things on your own. So the reason that this works is because you are vibrating and anything around you is in a harmonic level with whatever you're vibrating. So when you speak, you're speaking, your whole body is vibrating to the tone of what you are saying. And so if you, and your speech affects your energy level, you know, that's why they say, like when you say, I can, your muscles go up, whatever that muscle test is. When you say, I can't, your muscles are like, because your body knows what can and can't mean. And so your body knows what energy you're speaking. It feels those vibrations. And when you speak success, your whole body is in vibrational resonance with success. And so if you're vibrating success, what's going to happen outside of you, around you? All these things that you're wanting to attract are going to come to you that are going to support that new vibration that you are speaking. And that's why these calls, these speak it into existence calls are so, so, so critical. So that's a little bit about this group. We've had tons of success and testimonials and things, people manifesting things, and it's been just amazing because people are manifesting these soul goals. So yeah, that's a little bit about the group.
I just want to add one quick thing. You know, first of all, the group is amazing. And for those who are watching, I just want to say that, you know, Amanda has been doing this group for years. So there's lots of experience there. But just me personally, it has been a pleasure to see this movement grow and to see people really get tapped into these ideas that we've been talking about on this workshop and to really implement them in their life. Not only to just create what you desire, but they really are like manifesting tangible things, right? Life-changing things. So I've watched women come into the group unclear, you know, wanting a better life, you know, getting clear, deciding what they want, and then like manifesting like soulmates, manifesting, like you talked about the one that had the baby, you know, manifesting homes, cars, money, lots and lots of money. Like, it's just so amazing to watch, amazing to be a part of. And I really think everything happens for a reason. So if you're here right now, you know, watching this workshop and you're thinking that you need a change and, you know, you need to be a part of something and you're ready to, you know, shift some things within you and bring some new things into your life, I think you're here for a reason. It's just, I just wanted to, you know, put my input on what this group really does. So thank you, Amanda.
Yes, it is so true. Like she said, if you're here for a reason. And that is so powerful. Everything in your experience, everything, simply everything has meaning. And that's, so that's it. So with that, I want to tell you about a promotion that we are running. And this promotion, the group that I was just speaking about, is $97 per month. However, with this promotion, you're going to be getting 3 months for $199. So it's basically 3 months for the price of 2, right? That's what I'm like, I can't do math, but yes, you get basically 1 free month, 3 months for the price of 2. And with this also comes the amazing gift of a free clarity call with Janae. And Janae, how much is that valued at? How much are your sessions?
I'm charging the value. We won't go there, but I'm charging $125 for those sessions.
Yeah, so and those are really helpful. Like I said, a girl in my group, she was claiming she wanted to do Advocare for a while, and so she kind of spent a lot of time talking about the wrong thing, and then came to the realization. So when you join this group, you want to make sure that from the start you are speaking into existence what you actually want, and not because anything bad will happen. It won't. Nothing bad will happen, but just because why not get aligned and feel happy and good and start to manifest what you actually want. And sometimes, like, we don't give ourselves, like Janae said, we don't give ourselves permission to go after what we really want. So might be living the same day for 60 lives if you don't change it now. Anyway, that is the promotion that we are running right now. We would love for you to join us. If you would like to join us, please click on the link below and you'll find out all about the group. And again, you want to make sure you get in early because Janae is, her time is literally limited, like it's a limited resource. So she's only allowing us to have a few amount of people. But I do want to say she is going to be in the group also. So both Janae and I are in the group supporting you and also holding that same space of looking at you as if you already have exactly what it is that you want. So make sure you get in early. And another gift is that if you haven't taken this course from me yet, I have a money manifesting course that you can have absolutely for free. And this is an early bird gift. So if you purchase by the 27th, you will be able to get that for free. So that's one call with Janae, and that's my money manifesting course. And that's 3 months of the group for the price of 2. So that is it. We hope you join us. And something common, if you're thinking about the price, which it's really an amazing price for 3 months, but if you're thinking about it and you're wondering if you should do it, please remember that you are not paying for the group. Nobody is paying for the group. You're not paying for the group. You're not paying for the Facebook. You're not paying for the phone calls. You're not paying for the daily emails. And I also do send out videos about weekly. You're not paying for those. What you're paying for is achieving your desire. So how much would it be worth to you if you did manifest a new career or a new car or a new baby or harmony within your current relationship or all the other things that people, one girl just got funding for her business. How much is that worth to you? And you really have to look at that. So I would love for you to join us in this next go round of this group. And if that doesn't speak to you or that's not for you, then I have truly enjoyed you on this workshop. And Janae, any closing words?
I just want to say I just love how heart-centered this is, right? Because of course we're in business and we have that's a part of it, right? But that we're just pouring in, to offer this kind of promotion or offer to everyone, and to throw in that manifestation course with which by itself that value is, I don't know, hundreds of dollars. And I know myself, I love getting on the phone with you women one-on-one to help you get aligned with your soul and to help you break through any self-sabotage. That's another big one. And to really help you become, vibe higher and become that powerful manifester. Like I love to, offer that. And so the fact that we set this up in a way that we're really making this work for you. And like Amanda said, you're not paying for all of that stuff. This is just an investment in yourself and raising your vibration and being able to bring these things into your life and create the life that you want. So I'm just feeling real full, and grateful that this is here and that we're able to do this. And I'm so looking forward to seeing, who signs up and, the next round of the group. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Yay. All right. Thank you. And That's it. Please email us if you have any questions. Bye.
Bye.